Warm greetings from the high 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. I have a two-part video today pertaining to the search at Surfside and a firefighter who was found deceased at another hotel than the one that he checked into with his wife. He was found deceased in it's a very weird story, in a window of another hotel, and I will bring you that said information after I discuss Surfside update. Hello, Diamond Dozen. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much. Hope you all are well. CNN is the source. Miami-Dade police to take over search efforts at the Surfside condo building collapse site. Firefighters are turning over the search and recovery efforts at the Surfside condo building collapse to the Miami-Dade Police Department, officials said Friday. The Miami-Dade Fire Rescue had been in charge at the site of the now leveled residential building in South Florida community, but that is now changing, according to a news release from Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava's office, allowing the police department to step in fully. The operation is ongoing, and MDPD is continuing to search the debris pile both for human remains and for personal items until they have completed a full additional search of the debris, the news release said. So far, officials have identified 97 victims who died in the collapse. Of those victims, 96 were recovered from the collapse site and one died in the hospital, Miami-Dade County officials said Wednesday. The most recent victim was identified as 58-year-old Linda March. The county said it believes there is still one victim. It hasn't named the person, but on Friday, the family of Estelle Hadaya, 54, told CNN she is the final victim. The tough part is seeing my parents like this day after day, her brother, Ike Hadaya, told CNN. I just want my sister to be at peace and get the honor and respect she deserves. Firefighters were superheroes, mayor says. Part of the Champlain Tower South crumbled in the early morning hours of June 24th while many of the residents were sleeping. Some residents described the terror, feeling the rumbling and seeing the cracks in the walls. Others did not make it out. The mayor noted that Miami-Dade firefighters have been on the scene since that morning. They are true superheroes who have stepped up to serve this community in the wake of the precedented disaster, not just by leading the search and rescue and recovery operation, but through the care and compassion they demonstrated to all the families, doing everything they could to bring closure to those who lost loved ones, Levine Cava said. We're also very grateful to Miami-Dade Police Department, which has been leading the investigation since the beginning and now continues the challenging work of continuing to sift through millions of pounds of debris, searching for remains and personal items to bring closure to families, the mayor added. Now, a month since the tragedy, the site is mostly cleared and debris has been relocated to a different site with more than 22 million pounds of debris removed. Officials have said the search will not end until every loved one is recovered. We are continuing to search with enormous care and diligence and to work closely, hand in hand with faith leaders as we have since the beginning of this process, Levine Cava said. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation, which will fully begin when the search ends. Florida State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle has acknowledged multiple requests by engineers and attorneys to gain access to the site. It is my understanding that once NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and Miami-Dade Police Departments determine that it is safe and appropriate for others to gain access to the site, they will be permitted to do so under guidelines set forth by those agencies, Rundle said. This said information is by CNN News. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, that is CNN News. So now Miami-Dade Police Department has stepped in to take over this search at Surfside, and that is the said information pertaining to the latest updates in this storyline. Prayers to everyone. As they said, 97 victims is the tally at the moment, and one family believes that their loved one, Miss Hadaya, is left in the rubble and to be identified. And I'm going to bring you said information pertaining to her family's plea and their, her dismay at the moment of not having her retrieved from the rubble. And also, CNN is the source for this update as well. The agonizing wait for the family of the presumed last missing Surfside victim. One day before the somber 1 month anniversary of the Surfside condo collapse, the family of Estelle Hadaya told CNN she is the final victim that authorities have yet to find and identify. And there's also a picture of Miss Hadaya in this article. It looks like she's at a wedding. She's wearing a red dress. She is still missing. The tough part is seeing my parents like this, day after day, her brother Ike Hadaya told CNN on Friday. I just want my sister to be at peace and get the honor and respect she deserves. Ike says that the family is guided by their faith and have found some comfort that Estelle 54 was chosen for something very important. Still, they need closure so they can properly mourn her. He is pretty calm, but Ike is aware that there's stress he may have just become numb to. Dozens of condominiums in the Champlain Tower South, a residential tower just north of Miami Beach, were destroyed when part of the building collapsed early June 24th. Authorities have identified 97 victims, including 96 who were recovered from the collapse site and one who died in the hospital, Miami-Dade County officials said Wednesday. Officials say they believe one victim is not yet identified. After searchers combed the rubble for days and weeks, the site is now mostly cleared and debris has been relocated, Miami-Dade County Mayor Levine Kala said in a statement. A month is a very long time for something like this, Ike Hadaya says. Thankfully, he says the family has had nonstop prayers and support from their community. A constant stream of visitors also has helped as they wait for the call. We can get a call today, but it could also take several more weeks, he says. It's impossible to know at this point. Every time he gets a call from Miami's 305 area code, like he did during CNN's interview, it stops him in his tracks. Unfortunately, that call was just like the others, which have been providing him with the same message. Authorities are still searching for remains. They extract DNA and test it, then an anthropologist has to do an analysis to see who are possible matches, Ike says. They keep eliminating until they find a match, but sometimes the test comes back inconclusive, so they have to extract more DNA and repeat the process. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, MDFR, is transitioning the search and recovery effort to the Miami-Dade Police Department, according to Levine Cava's office. The operation is ongoing, and MDPD is continuing to search the debris pile, both for human remains and for personal items, until they have completed a full additional search of the debris, the mayor said Friday in a press release. At this step in the recovery process, it has become increasingly challenging to identify victims, and we are relying heavily on the work of the medical examiner's office and the scientific technical process of identifying human remains. The release adds, this work becomes more difficult with the passage of time, although our teams are working as hard and as fast as they can. Remembering Estelle, Ike says, she was at the apex, in every aspect. The oldest of three siblings, Estelle was director of operations at a jewelry buying group. Her brother says she loved working out, dancing, and traveling. I firmly believe God helped her get to her best point in life and then decided best for her to go out on top, he says. My one regret is that I never told her how much I respected her and how much I admired how she kept improving no matter what life was throwing at her, Ike says. I just never thought there'd be a day I'd be here and she wouldn't. CNN is the source. So there is one victim believed to be left in the rubble, and her name is Estelle Hadaya. She's 54 years of age. Prayers to Miss Hadaya's family. I'm praying that the searchers will recover her remains so she can have a proper burial and her family can move forward in their mourning and grieving process as long so forth with the other victims' families. I also read commentary that there are people right now, it's an issue of selling the property, what to do with the property. Some people still want to move back to that location. Why? I do not know. Some victims' families want it to be a memorial site. So it's just a matter of what's going to happen. It's not public land, so there can't be said definitive decision what to do with the property because it's public. It's you know what I'm saying? It's anybody can purchase the land. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know what's going to happen with the land. It's worth about $110 million. So I don't know who's going to buy it. I don't know what they would do with it, but I do believe a memorial should be put on the property. It's prime location. So naturally, anybody buying it, they're going to want to get their monies back out of the property. I don't know why anyone would want to build on top of a place that fell to the ground, because what you have to ask yourself is, what was the reason that the building fell in the first place? So if you're talking about erosion from the earth itself, sand, water, it could possibly happen again. Because the thing about it, even if you use the best materials, you can't stop the earth from doing what it does. And that's the ocean. It's there. The ocean's not going anywhere. So any residue coming from the ocean, you don't have any what I'm trying to say. It's nothing you can do about it. You're not gonna be able to stop the ocean from being the ocean, and the air being the air, and the water and the storms and all that. Now they've checked the North Tower. Samples have been pulled out of that building. So far, it's looking okay, but that's just from the guy's eye view point of looking at what he pulled out of the wall, a sample. But naturally, he has to test it. My thing is, 9 times out of 10, it was the same contractor that built that building. 9 times out of 10, it's the same materials used. Why would he use different materials? It was built a year apart. Just saying. Frankly, I wouldn't want to live anywhere near over there, near the ocean, period. Now that we know a building is susceptible to fall down. Yes, erosion. So I don't know what's going to happen with the building, who's going to buy it, what's going to be put on the property. Naturally, these people pay maintenance fees. I heard that today. So my thing is, how did the building fall down and not get the proper care to be repaired if people were there paying a mortgage or paying rent and or a mortgage and maintenance fees? Then you should have had enough money in the pot to repair whatever was going on with the building. But that's the thing. They're going to bicker back and forth on who was right, who was wrong, who said the building was okay, who said now it wasn't okay. Like I said, in April, they had just passed a budget of 15 million to rehab the building, but it was too late. And it's hard for me now to even believe that a month has passed. We're now at a month that this incident happened. And it is even hard to believe that this building fell down. Part of the building fell down, and then the city had to come in and break it all the way down. It's just hard to even fathom that. Last time I had to put my brain into motion of understanding buildings falling down was with 9/11. It's hard to believe that two big, gigantic buildings went down to nothing. Two airplanes. And even in my mind then, I still couldn't understand how that happened. But then, people started explaining, well, fuel was in the planes, and that's what melted the structure. But it's still hard to fathom that. Now we're talking about a building at the bottom of the East Coast falling to the ground, but no detonation, no airplanes flew into it, no fuel burning it down. Just the earth itself said, I'm going to ease in here and infiltrate the structure and bring the building down. That's deep. So anybody that wants to stay on that land near that water and other places near the ocean fronts, not just in Miami, but other locales as well, be it East Coast, West Coast, wherever. I don't care, here, abroad. This is what you need to consider living near the water. Okay, the hurricanes, maybe. That's what I'm saying. You never know, because down there they get high winds, high gusts. That's another thing. Thanks for pointing that out, Soul Survivor. Yes, hurricanes come. Who knows what's going on? The wind blowing, rattling the buildings. You're talking about 80 miles an hour wind or higher. If it can knock a pole down, who's to say what it's doing to a building over time? You just don't know. But this is terrible. I hope they find Miss Hadaya's remains. Just a very, very, very sick situation. Very sick situation. I'm getting ready to bring you a very baffling story out of Mexico. And I want you to listen very carefully to the information I'm going to bring to you. because there is something very fishy with this story out of Mexico. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. This information is I don't know. It's something very funky going on here with this story I'm about to bring to you. Hold on one second. Because I pulled up several different articles because each one has a little something different than the other one has. So thank you all for joining me. Hello, Joel. Hi, everybody. Okay. Some of you may not have heard the news, but a Texas firefighter was found dead while on an anniversary trip with his wife. I want you to listen very carefully to the information because I'm going to stay on this story to the very end because something is not right with this story. And know that it has been recommended that you do not travel to Mexico for the obvious reasons. The people are known to rob people, scam people, and kill people down there. And these people are killing their own people down there, burying them in graves, throwing them out like trash, the wayside. It is a very dangerous place to travel, Mexico. People like traveling there from all over the world in the United States because it's cheaper to go. The dollar is high. The American dollar is high in Mexico. So people like to go spend their money, vacation, live it up, drink, whatever they do. But what you have to always tell yourself is that there's high crime down there. So you're going down there rolling the dice that you're going to come back in one piece. And many people have not come back from Mexico. And as I state, you have the cartel down there. If they will kill their own damn people, what do they care about you? And we know that fair-skinned people are targets all over the world when traveling. So long as you have a pale face, skin, sandy color hair, blue, green eyes, you are a walking target in a foreign country. And unfortunately, this white man was found dead. It is up for grabs if he actually died by suffocation and or beat to death and suffocated. It will be up to a medical examiner to determine his manner of death. And they're squabbling now with how he actually died. I will read you the set information and you can determine for yourself how you think this man died. WBRZ2 ABC News is my first source. Texas firefighter found dead outside of Cancun. A Texas firefighter was found dead in Mexico, and local authorities said they found his body in a bathroom window. KTVT reported that firefighter Elijah Snow died Monday while vacationing 10 miles away from Cancun. Local officials said Snow's body was found in a hotel, but it was not. Listen to me good. It was not at the resort where he was staying. KTVT said Snow and his wife, Jamie Snow, were on vacation for their 10-year wedding anniversary. The couple went to the downstairs bar at their all-inclusive resort July 19th to have a few drinks and then went back up to their room. Randy Ellis, Jamie Snow's father, told KTVT that Jamie woke up around 4 a.m. and her husband was not in the room. Around 8:30 a.m. the same morning, Ellis said someone told Jamie her husband was dead, potentially after falling between walls of the resort next door. Ellis said the crime scene photos released to the family show bruises on most of Elijah's body. The family believes the firefighter was kidnapped, beaten before he was killed. This information is by WBRZ 2 ABC News. That is my first source pertaining to the death of this Texas firefighter. Now, this commentary says they went out, had drinks. She decided to go back to the room. He stayed on. She got up later at 4 something in the morning, went to look for her husband, couldn't find him. It wasn't until 8:30 hours later she heard her husband was dead. Someone suspected he fell between the walls at the neighboring resort, which I don't understand what that means. It doesn't make any sense to me. But he was found 10 miles away at another locale hotel, stuck in a window. And they believe there was no foul play. But they hired an outside attorney to investigate and got photos from the ME, whomever, and those photos show he had bruises all over his body. So they believe foul play, kidnapping, and death by beating. I will now bring you source number 2. Thank you for listening. Oh, Lord. This is by the New York Post. Okay. I'm going to try to skim over. Hold on 1 second. And now won't come up now. I don't know something about these articles. They do not like you to read them for some reason. It's very strange. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening. They won't stay up. Texas firefighter celebrating wedding anniversary found dead in Cancun. Okay. The family believes this Texas firefighter was kidnapped. Now, mind you, he and his wife were staying at a Mexican resort. I'm skimming over because most of it is saying the same thing that the other ones are saying. So I'm trying to pick out things in this article that wasn't said in the first one by Channel 2 News. He was on vacation. It was a wedding anniversary. In the said article, you will see a photograph of his wife, 2 little girls, and the victim. They all are holding hands in the photo. Elijah Snow is the victim's name. He was a firefighter with the city of Arlington. Traveled with his wife Jamie last week to an all-inclusive resort in the popular tourist destination of Cancun. This is by DFW TV reporting. Let me read you an inscription underneath the photograph of the family. During this time of mourning, many have asked about making donations to Elijah Snow's family. Donations can be made to the Arlington Charitable Fund, and if you can place a note that it is for Elijah's family, the APFF will make sure that the family receives it. If for some reason you cannot leave a note, message us and inform us of your donation. Please join us in continuous prayers for the family. And it has an PayPal donate page in this article if you want to donate to this firefighter's family, or maybe send the money directly to the wife. It is up to you if you decide you'd like to help out with his burial expenses. The couple went to grab drinks at the hotel bar for their first night of the vacation. But at some point in the evening, his wife decided to go back to their room, the outlet reported. When she woke up around 4 a.m. Monday, she realized the Snow wasn't there, the news station reported. She went searching for the husband and was told he was found dead, possibly after falling between the walls of the resort next door. Very strange. Why are they telling her that? Because he was found 10 miles away. So a resort next door would not be 10 miles. So I don't understand what that means. It sounds fishy. Officials in the Mexican state of Quintana Roo said Friday that Snow's body was discovered stuck in the bathroom window of a hotel in Benito Juarez district. The death appeared to be an accident, and there was no signs of violence, officials said. Snow's family, however, hired a local attorney who obtained crime scene photos that show bruises on most of his body, KTVT reported. The family now believes that he was kidnapped and beaten before he was killed. You're supposed to be safe there, Randy Ellich, Snow's father-in-law, told the outlet. You're at your resort, all inclusive, and have no intentions of leaving, so you'll be safe, and you're not safe there. Well, see, this is by the New York Post. See, that's where the problem comes in with this story. He wasn't found at his hotel dead. He was found somewhere else, which is allegedly 10 miles away. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but 10 miles is what, 12, 13 minutes away at the most? So that means he wasn't found where he and his wife checked in. He was found on another property 10 miles away. Another hotel, another city limit. Stay woke. What happened? Photos were taken, bruises on the body. So you can't say it was accidental. You can't even say that he was found next door. 10 miles is not next door. Next door is within a few feet to a few yards. That's what's considered next door, not 10 miles. Next door is used as a figure of speech. Oh, they live in a city next door to me, which means the city can be 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away. You get my drift. Yes, 10 miles away in a bathroom window V. I'm going to give you my commentary, what I think happened to Mr. Snow. This source I just brought you was the New York Post. The first source was ABC2 News. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure I'm bringing you different articles. That way you can get a feel of different things, because every article is not going to have the same amount of information. NBC News is the source for this commentary I'm bringing to you. Number 3. Texas firefighter celebrating his wedding anniversary found dead in Cancun. Elijah Snow was found dead in a bathroom window at a hotel. Mexican authorities said no signs of violence have been found at the scene. Yeah, bunch of bull. A Texas firefighter was found dead in the bathroom window of a hotel in Cancun, Mexico this week. Prosecutors in the Mexican state of Quintana Roo launched an investigation into the circumstances that led to the man's death on Thursday. So far, investigators have found no signs of violence at the scene, indicating it could have been an accident, authorities added Friday. Elijah Snow, who had been a firefighter in the city of Arlington for 8 years, had traveled to the popular tourist destination with his wife to celebrate their wedding anniversaries, friends told NBC Dallas Fort Worth. Snow and his wife had been drinking at a hotel bar. Later in the night, she decided to go back to their room, but Snow stayed behind, according to the news station. His wife then woke up at 4 a.m. and realized he wasn't there. That's when she started searching for him. Mexican authorities said Snow died of mechanical asphyxiation after getting trapped crawling into the bathroom window of a hotel located in the municipality of Benito Juarez. The hotel where Snow's body was found is different from the one he had been staying at with his wife. And once again, there's a photo of he, the wife, the kids in this said commentary. In their statement, Mexican authorities did not name the hotels or explain how Snow might have ended up there. It is unclear why Snow left the hotel where he was staying or who may have been with him. Snow's remains have returned to North Texas from Cancun on Friday, just in time for his funeral on Tuesday in Arlington. The Arlington Professional Firefighters Association told NBC Dallas Fort Worth that Snow was an apparatus operator and an outstanding firefighter, as well as a dedicated public servant. Snow was also the son of Arlington firefighter Ronnie Snow, who died in the line of duty in 1985, they added. The fire department will take all necessary steps to ensure that Elijah's family is properly supported throughout this difficult time, the association said. Our prayers are with his family. Snow is survived by his wife and 2 young children. And note that those are 2 baby girls that were left behind alongside a wife. NBC News is the source. I will now give you my commentary pertaining to what's going on. Yes, we know they lie, but you cannot explain. Let me start at the beginning of this story. Man and wife goes to Cancun for an anniversary. They go to the bar to drink. The wife decides to go back to the room. The husband stays behind. She gets up at 4 a.m. to look for her husband. She finds out 4.5 hours later, that he was found dead. It is alleging he fell between the walls of a neighboring resort, which makes no sense because how did he get there? Why was he there? If that is what I'm to believe. But it also states he was found at a hotel 10 miles away. So that's not next door. It is now stating he was found in a window, asphyxiated. So what? He died naturally, stuck in a window. But they hired an attorney who got pictures of him that shows bruises all over his body. So I'm going to go with the latter, which are the bruises on the body, because the body don't lie. The body don't lie. Why did the wife go back to the hotel room? Why did she not stay in the bar with her husband? That's first and foremost. Did they have an altercation? Did they argue? Hey, let's go. Let's go to bed. Let's leave. Let's do this. Now I want to stay here and drink. Why would he let his wife go back to the room? I'm curious to that. What happened when she went back to the room and he stayed behind? What did he get into? Because you want me to now believe that in the wee hours, he stayed at this bar. Some people walked up to him, pulled a gun on him in the bar and told him to follow them. So you want me to believe there were no other eyewitnesses in the bar when he was allegedly accosted by some strange persons? 3, where are the surveillance cameras to show what he was doing in the bar? This is Mexico. I refuse to believe there are no surveillance cameras in the bar, in the hotel, breezeways, and or the facility itself, inside and outside. Stay woke. What happened at the bar? Many people have gone to Mexico and never came back alive. And most of the people who went to Mexico were tourists, and they were found dead and or missing. It is a high crime city, state, country, however you want to look at it. The cartel is in Mexico, heavily trafficked with drugs, human trafficking, killing for hire, yada, yada, yada. Not a place to vacation, yet people still keep carrying their tails down there any damn way. Why? Let's set up the scenarios. Somebody wasn't happy with their husband. Is that a possibility? They go down there. She hires somebody to knock her husband off. I hate to be rude, but I'm just going to bring you the variables. 10 years they've been married. Are we talking about an unhappy wife? Because I'm trying to figure out why she left her husband and went back to the room. Why would you want to go send your wife back to the room and you continue to drink in a bar late? And this happened their first night there. Not night 2, not night 3, not night 4, night 1. That's kind of suspicious to me. This man ends up dead 10 miles away. So what are we talking about? Murder for hire by a wife? He picked up somebody in the bar, a cutie pie. He looked at her, she looked at him. They started to talk. One thing led to another. She said, hey, I got a room, I got a place over here on 15th Street. You want to follow me? We can take an Uber, a cab. I got a car. Stay woke. How did he get to that place where he was found dead? Did he drive? Was his car found there? Once again, what do the cameras say? Did he leave with a woman? Did he leave with a man? Stay woke. Did he leave with several people? They wanted to party, do some other things. Get high, menage a trois. I don't know. I'm throwing out the variables. Not to be disrespectful to the family, but I'm throwing out the variables because once you start talking about a person found dead 10 miles away from their own resort, you have to go into the belly of the beast. Common sense. Was this a hookup with a female or man in the bar? Did he follow somebody out of the bar to go have more drinks, party, whatever? How did he get out of the bar to the second location, which was 10 miles away? Who did he leave with? 1 person, 2 people, 3 people? What was the rules of the guys to get him out of the hotel? As I state, did he hook up with another woman or a man? They left, they drove him, they Ubered, they took a cab. What happened when he got to the second place? Did something jump off? Hey, give me your money, give me your wallet, lay down, get on the ground. What happened? Was it a setup to get him to the second place to rob him? Did the woman, if it was a woman, a date, whatever you want to call it, hey, let's hook up, go over here. He gets there, there's people waiting for him. See, it can go 1,000 different ways because we don't know what's the truth. And yes, these foreigners will cover for one another. They will lie, manipulate, ask not to draw more attention to their country because they know their country is dangerous. Yes, V, I wondered about all that too. How did they know that was his wife? How did they know he was dead? All of that. I thought that was suspicious too. Thanks for bringing it up. I think that's very strange. So somebody knows something. Word traveled that fast within 4 hours. Very great point. How did they know to tell that woman that was her husband that was dead 10 miles up the road? Because 10 miles is just what it is, 10 miles. It's not next door. Well, I don't know about being lured to the beach, honey. He was found 10 miles at another hotel. He didn't walk 10 miles. He got in a car. I think you all know what 10 miles is. 10 miles is not next door. He had to have gotten in a car. He either walked willingly to a car or he was forced into a car. I'm thinking the latter, that he saw something in the bar, eyed something in the bar, and they made an agreement to go somewhere else private, and they left in a automobile. Not a donkey, not a horse, but a car. And things jumped off when he got to the second place, whatever that is. Because you want me to believe that somebody or somebody's walked up to him in a bar and pulled a gun out on him and told him to come with them. And you want me to believe there were no security cameras in the bar, coming out of the bar into the vestibule, which would probably be the hotel lobby. Still no cameras. Go out of there. Still no cameras outside. Come on now. This is crazy. I think he stayed behind for whatever reason. He wanted to keep drinking. The wife didn't. I don't know if they had words or not. He stayed in that bar. I think a cutie pie was in there. He made contact with a woman, or she made contact with him. Words was exchanged, and he left the bar with somebody. That's what I'm feeling. My gut is telling me he left with somebody or somebodies. I don't think he was kidnapped or forced out of the bar. I think perhaps something was exchanged in the bar, words. Hey, you want to go hang with us, chill with me? He left. And that's how he ended up dead at another locale 10 miles up the highway. I believe he was set up to go to the next place. He fell for it. It was a ruse. He got probably robbed there and beat and suffocated. And him climbing in the window is one or two things. As I said, he was trying to get away from his perpetrators by crawling out of a window and died in the window, and or died trying to get out and they beat him up, left him in the window. Or we're dealing with what? A peeping Tom. He traveled 10 miles down the road by car, Uber, whatever, and was peeping through somebody's window and got caught and died in the window, and or got beat up trying to get out of the window in the window. It's a very odd story. Because when you say found dead in a window, what do you mean? He was found dead with his feet from the outside of the window on the ground, or his feet was inside of the hotel room and his head is hanging out of the window toward the outside. Very, very strange. Yes, V may have been. They may have watched him. Yes, could have been a setup. Like I said, all of it probably was a setup. Lady in the bar probably winked at him. He winked at her. However it went, and things jumped off once he left that hotel with a woman or other parties. I got a feeling that's how it went. I could be wrong. It's just a feeling I'm getting due to the fact he stayed behind and the wife went back to the room. And as I said, I don't know how the trip was going with the two. I don't know if there were words exchanged between he and his wife to where she decided, hey, I've had enough. I want to go back. He said, no, go ahead. I'm going to stay. I really think it was a bad idea for him to stay in that bar late without his spouse. She said she was ready to go. He should have went back to the room with his wife. That was a very bad idea, to let your wife go back. because for all we know, somebody could have done something to her making it back to her hotel room. Because we've heard of a story where somebody got hurt in a hotel down in Mexico, and there's no explanation how this something bad happened to this lady in a room. I don't think it was Mexico, but it was another island. And to this day, there's no explanation how the woman got hurt, how she got dead from her hotel. So you see, it's not safe to travel to foreign countries. It's sad to say. You have to be careful going to Mexico. You have to be careful also going to places like Barbados, Jamaica, South American countries, because there's always somebody watching you and they know a foreigner. Because many fair skinned people do not live on the islands. You do have white people, foreign people that do live in foreign locales, but they watch you, they're listening to your conversations, they will know if you are a visitor or you are a pilgrim. My sincerest condolences to this family, this lady and her children. I feel really bad for her and the family. The children now do not have a father. But like I said, we don't know all what has happened because this is a new story. It's only 6 days in this story. Tomorrow will mark 1 week that he was vacationing there with his wife and found dead. I guess that would be early Tuesday morning, I'm assuming. So this is a very wicked story out of Cancun, Mexico. It's very, very, very strange story. Do I think they tell him not to leave the resort, or he ignored the warnings, and does the hotel take precautions checking guests out of the resort? Honey, I have no idea. This is the thing people got to understand. How we operate here in America, they don't operate that way somewhere else. See, that's what people don't understand about traveling. You're expecting to have the same luxuries, the same government, police ways of doing things. They don't do things the way you think they should do things. That's just the way it is. That's why they tell you have to be careful traveling, because you're not going to get the results that you think you should get as if you're an American. Okay, we have injustices here within the system, judicial system. You're now talking about going to a whole different locale and expecting those people to behave the way you think they should behave, think the way you think they should think. Hell no, they ain't. That's why this man's dead. Well, you can't be free in somebody else's culture. Okay, let me tell you something. Many people have come to America for a better life and they ended up dead from a violent death. I have seen that all too often just from watching First 48 and true crime shows. Many African people have come to this country. Foreign people have come here from Russia, Ireland, different places. They came here as refugees. They came here to get away from their home country that had violence, and they ended up dying shortly after moving to America. Because you see, the devil is everywhere. He ain't picking no certain place to be. He has free range to use people to do his dirty work. And that's his job. So you're leaving Africa to come here, hope to get a better life. And next thing you know, you're on a slab a few years after living here. So you left nothing. And that's the assumption about America, is that we are the better country, better jobs, more money, wealth, prosperity. But that is not true. We have vile people here as well as in other countries. And they will get you down right here on American soil, because people die every day in America from by the hands of another American civilian. And this is evident from the things I discussed on this channel. There is no peace in the valley. Thank you all for joining me. So, once again, for those coming into the chat, thanks for joining me. A Texas firefighter working out of Arlington, Texas, is no longer living. He was found dead in a hotel down in Mexico. It is not the hotel where he and his wife checked in at a resort, all inclusive resort. He was found dead 10 miles away at another resort. I do not know what happened to him. His family believes there's foul play. They have photographs that show he had bruising all over his body. But the Mexican officials are saying he was found deceased by asphyxiation, being stuck in a window. As I state, they did not describe how the body was in the window. If his head was hanging out of the window, going out like he's trying to crawl out to the outside, or his head was found inside the window as if he was crawling from the outside. I do not have that said information. But the hotel was 10 miles away, which is suspect to me. How in the hell did he get to the other locale? What led him from the bar to this other hotel? Was it a ruse? Was it a woman that set him up for a date? Hanky panky, a little partying? What? Why did he let his wife go back to the room and not follow her back? How long were they in the bar? Did they have words? So you have to ask all those questions. And it's not to be disrespectful to the decedent's family, but you're curious because we already know we probably won't get the whole truth from the Mexican officials. So now that's going to leave an array of variables to how this man was found dead in another hotel. The other speculation is that he died between the walls of the next door resort. That makes no sense. So what are you saying? He was up crawling around on top of a building and fell off. He got drunk and made his way on top of a resort. So what are we talking about? A resort that has several floors? One level resort? What? But we know that can't be true because one article states he was found in a whole nother district, 10 miles away. So 10 miles is just what it is, 10 miles. 10 miles is not next door. It's not 20 feet, it's not 20 yards. Very, very, very strange story out of Cancun. If you like to donate any funds to this family, please do so. Naturally, he has to be buried. They're proposing a funeral on Tuesday. It is now Sunday. This is a very, very strange story. When I got the notification today, I said, oh yeah, I got to bring this to the channel because this is a doozy. And you're not in your right mind going to just come up to somebody and try to explain how that man got murdered or died allegedly by accident inside of a window. Yes, bruises all over his body, allegedly. That's what's seen in the photos. They hired a private attorney, the family, and that is what the attorney found from the crime scene photos, that the man had bruising all over his body. So what we have to tell ourselves is this from lying in the window, deceased for 4 hours? What? Now, I was watching Forensic Files this morning when I came in, being out late, and I remember looking at the crime scene photos of a woman who was found murdered in her apartment. I did see a lot of bruising on that lady. There was bruising all on her feet because she was barefoot. Her body was posed lying on a bed. And there was bruising all the way up from her foot to her legs, arms, all that. So what I have to tell myself, is this something that perhaps could have happened to the body after death? I'm not sure. Because I don't remember them saying she was beat. This lady who was found in her in her apartment. And I can't remember if she was strangled or not because I was watching it late. But anyway, I'm not sure, Cynthia. I'm just telling you, the Mexican officials said there was no foul play. And I'm telling you that the family hired a private attorney who got access to the crime scene photos and they saw bruising. So we have two conflicts. Mexican officials say no violence. Crime scene photos say he had bruising. So I don't know if the bruising came after death from him lying in the window, standing upright, because the body does strange things after death. So I don't know if it's because of the way his body was sitting in the window, the flow of blood, could that have caused the bruising? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm just bringing you the said information. Feel free to Google whatever you need to, and there you have it. I'm going to jump off of here, but I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. I do have an update pertaining to Summer Wells to bring to you. I will bring that live a little bit later. I will drop the link if you want to hit the panel. As of late, I was changing my format of the network because many of you don't hit the link. So I'm just basically bringing you content to read, bring my commentary, and then I check out. And I will continue to do it that way if nobody wants to hit the link, because there's just no need in me dropping it and nobody comments. You know, it's daunting to me, the back and forth chattering in the chat, and nobody hits the link to give their opinion. And naturally, as the channel grows, I will not be able to read hundreds of comments. So it's up to you how you want to ride this ride on Everyday Shenanigans. But that is what the link is for. It's for you to give your opinion, and I would prefer that different people come up on the panel to give their opinion. And I don't understand why some of you act like you can't hit the link. It's very baffling to me. So I really understand the momentum. But hey, it is what it is. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for following the content, your support. Those who are subscribed, the new subscribers, thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you so very much. God bless all of you. Okay, Joel, Lord have mercy. Oh, mercy. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for the support. Thank you for tuning in. Prayers for this family. This is a wild story, because I think I will be pondering about this all day, trying to figure out how this guy got in this window and how he got to be at this other hotel dead. It's a very, very, very strange story. But I pray that the truth is revealed, because nonetheless, no matter what happened between he, the wife at the hotel, who he left with, whichsoever, he didn't deserve to be murdered if indeed he was murdered. And like I said, this is just an odd story. And I will bring you an update pertaining to this story. And once again, look out for the notifications for my live in a couple of hours. I will be going live with an update pertaining to Summer Wells. This will be pertaining to the search that is exacted at the current moment in Rogersville, Tennessee. There is information that has been revealed about the search and what the searchers want to let the public know. And I'm going to bring you that information because I think people need to hear what they have to say about what's going on up there in the search for Summer Wells, and the message they want to deliver to the public about their search. Because some of you are not adhering to what they've asked you not to do. Because some of you just refuse to stay in your lane. You just can't be still and let the process take its course. So I will bring you that information pertaining to the Equa search and the message they have to the public about their search for Summer Wells. And I thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Thank the mods on deck. You all have a safe Sunday and a safe week. Stay cool, hydrated, see something, say something. Chad Carr, 32, still missing out of Clinton, Tennessee from the foundation. Tashina Kyle, 27, still missing out of Knoxville, Tennessee. When I get an update pertaining to these two individuals as well, I will bring you that said commentary. Thank you, Pretty K. Thank you all for joining me. Come on back a little later and join me for the second live pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you.